Hey, how are you today? Welcome to another segment of Q&A with Next Evolution Athletics. So, I had a really interesting question today, and I think it's a pretty interesting question for a lot of people that are always trying to struggle and find the motivation to start training. And the question is pretty simple. It's when is a good time to start exercising and training, or how do I start exercising and training? Um, that's a really interesting question because I've been physically active in some form or another, be it sports or actually training, most of my life. So I can only speak from my experience of myself as well as my clients that I see on a daily basis. And I have asked a lot of them why they started training before. So I have a pretty good understanding on why. But the how is always interesting. So I'm going to dive a little bit into some of the things that you're going to run into on the how do I start training. So first things first, let's get this out of the way. There is never, ever, ever a good time to start training. Okay? Never. You just have to kind of do it. You know, there's always going to be a birthday party. There's always going to be an event. There's always going to be pizza night, hockey, a game night, anything. There's always going to be a reason why it's not the right time to start training. So I'm going to get that out of the way right away. There is never a good time. The best time to start training is right freaking now. Put all the nonsense aside, and that's the best time to start training right now. Now, the things you want to kind of help you, the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that have helped me and helped a lot of my clients over the years, I can give you some of those. So first things first, accept the fact there's never a good time to start training and just start. Okay? One great way to do it is to go out and hire a coach. Okay, now I'm not saying that because I'm a personal trainer and I'm a coach and that's my job. I'm saying it because if you have a meeting that you have to go to for work, it's rare that you miss that meeting. The same thing is true when you work with a coach. 80% of a job when a coach starts with a client is just keeping you accountable to walk in the door and do the work. It sounds ridiculous. That's the hardest part of our job with new clientele, just showing up and doing the work. So the first thing I always recommend is get a coach. And a lot of people say, well, I don't want to get a coach till I'm good enough. That's like saying, I don't even know what that's like saying. It's saying like, I'm not going to do my first powerlifting meet until I can break national records. That's a terrible idea. And I hear so many people use that excuse. You're not ready for it. It's like you're never going to be ready for it because the difference between lifting in a gym and lifting on a platform is two different worlds. You know, it's like I'm not going to play hockey until I can win the Stanley Cup. Well, guess what? You can't win the Stanley Cup unless you play hockey first. So the best thing to do is get someone that's more knowledgeable than you and start working with that person, get them to help you. Another great trick is work out with a friend that already has the habits. Okay, that's another great trick. If you already train with if you have a friend that trains, now generally these friends aren't in your immediate circle, and this is a whole other topic for another time, and I can get into that later, but not this shot. If you have an acquaintance, a friend that already trains and they're physically active 4, 5 times, 6 times a week, try and tag along with them. Okay, you probably won't be able to do the workouts they do. You're just not ready for that. But that's fine. You have to start somewhere, and the biggest obstacle for you is just showing up and getting in the door. Once you get in the door, everything gets easier. That's just that. It's just that simple. I always recommend setting goals with concrete deadlines that are meaningful and important to you. So what do I mean by that? If you want to lose 20 pounds before you go on your next vacation, okay? That's super important to understand. A, do you have enough time to complete the task that you want to do to get your goal? B, how are you going to do it? Okay? So if you want to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks, it's not enough time. It's not an intelligent goal. You have to actually give yourself time to make those changes. If you want to lose 20 pounds just to develop the habits, it's going to take about 10 weeks. And just to learn how to do it, it's going to take about 3 months. And that's if you're dedicated and understand what you're doing. Okay, so you're looking at 3 to 4 months to lose 20 pounds when you first start out. Now it falls off fairly quickly, but you just don't know exactly how to tweak and when to tweak and what changes to make. That's a big important thing to understand. It also has a lot to do with being consistent with what you're training. Okay, so work out with a friend that goes to the gym consistently and trains consistently. Okay, what else? On those goals, okay, a second part to that. When you set goals, set smaller goals. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, set like a celebration goal around every 5 pounds, 4 pounds. And then you've lost 4 pounds, you celebrate it. That's about 2 to 3 weeks of work. You don't lose much faster than that. Again, another topic for another time. But, you know, you celebrate it. That was loud. You celebrate it. You get excited about it. You're looking forward to that. Okay? There's small little checkpoints and landmarks on the way. Celebrate them. Don't go out and party and binge and go crazy, but just like acknowledge the fact that you've accomplished something. A lot of people get lost in the minutiae of this stuff. Your goal should have a concrete deadline, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to go on your vacation, give yourself enough time, but it does have a deadline. A lot of people can say, I just want to lose 20 pounds. When? Oh, I don't know. Give yourself a deadline and put a sense of urgency on it. Say you're going on vacation in 3 months. That's perfect. That's a great way to get 20 pounds down, stay focused, short time frame, and every month you celebrate this 5 or 6 pounds you lost. Awesome, great work. Okay. Another great trick is schedule in your day. If you can't work out with a trainer and you don't have a friend that works out, schedule in your day. You don't miss meetings, you don't miss your kids' recitals, you don't miss your kids' sports, you don't miss your pedicures. Put it in your planner. Schedule it in your day just like you would another appointment. It makes it more concrete and gives you more focus, and it gives you more adherence to the goal. Okay, if you schedule it in advance. I'm sure there's another one or two. Oh yeah, the most important one, outside of showing up, start slow. Start slow, guys. Seriously. If you've never worked out before, trying to do 6 days a week out of the gate, hard training for an hour at a time, super difficult. If you've never worked out before and you've been very sedentary, I'll be very honest. Sometimes just 10 push-ups and 10 squats and 10 crunches every day for a week, maybe 2 weeks, is a great place to start. It doesn't have to do, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do much. Something is better than nothing. Anything is better than nothing. Okay. If you want to start slow and build up on top of it. Everyone gets caught and they got to have the right training program and optimal blah, blah, blah. Just start. 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 crunches. Okay. And if you have knee issues or shoulder issues, talk to a physician, talk to a physiotherapist. I usually recommend a physio more than a physician. My personal preference. Work with a professional coach. Okay. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what our job is. We don't mind answering questions. So I'm doing this right now. Someone asked me this question. Yeah, start slow, build up. Okay. Sometimes just doing that once a day, 10 minutes a day, it starts to build the consistency. It starts to build the habit. You're slowly building momentum, and that slow momentum build up, even though there's small little tweaks, make a huge difference over time. Now, again, if you're a shorter deadline and you get a lot accomplished, maybe not the best way to do it. But if you just want to start moving and just feel better, that's a great way to start. Okay? That's all I have for you today. I hope that helps. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. Please ask questions. I have more stuff coming your way. And I hope you have a great day. Keep getting your strong on.